Hola, familia estelar. You did not land here by chance. You have indeed entered into a sacred world-line collision. What I'm seeing is a new season has emerged within you. And I'm seeing the quote, and it's from Hades and Persephone's story, where you can cut the flowers, but you can't stop spring from coming. So it feels like there's been a descent into the underworld. And the underworld is like eighth house energy, right? So it's you diving in deep into your psyche. And I'm seeing something has been illuminated to you in this interface of where the soul has had a conversation with its vessel. It's this biological costume that you're utilizing to navigate life on Earth. And there's an integration process where I'm just seeing an agreement that's been made. That's what it feels like. Around some kind of experiential participation that is to be had as you resurface into the world. This reading is taking a complete different turn than I thought it would be, but it's required like surrender. When nature goes too long unchanged, it begins to destroy itself. And there is something around a recalibration that has occurred. The forest is forever because it dies and it dies again. And it's only when, autumn rolls around, if the tree were to hold on to its leaf because it had disbelief in its ability to be one with the seasons and the changes of this universe, then it would never experience, a new blossoming that would take place. And I'm just seeing space that's being cleared. And it sheds, what no longer feeds it. It's like something has begun to wither away. And they're showing me the regeneration card, which talks about something being revived for you. But it's new opportunities that are coming in, right? It's new experiences that are coming in. And you've allowed something to not just rot, but turn into what it is that has rooted you. And it's like, it's like letting fallen limbs just clear so that the sky can call in something new that can grow in its place. We think that survival means holding on, but it's actually in you releasing that you begin to thrive. And I'm just seeing that, it's like the forest knows that it will bloom once again, and there's a new blossoming that's taking place within you, a new season that's emerging. But sometimes you have to burn before that happens, right? The phoenix rises from the ashes, but first it must experience the ashes. So I'm seeing this as kind of, descending into the underworld and then returning back unrecognizable. It kind of reminds you of Venus transiting through the eighth house, but it's so that something wilder can grow in its place. And yeah, the message I was receiving yesterday around this as well was you're about to be surprised with what actually blossoms. It's like you may have subject yourself to just being an apple tree, but I'm just seeing mangoes are about to emerge. And I think I've spoken about this before, maybe in Aswan when I was in Egypt. But that's what I'm seeing. It's like there's something sweeter, something more, exotic, something different. I'm hearing that you've not experienced until now, and it's because of a new climate that's taken place. And I'm seeing a climate in which you've evolved into, and it's your own internal atmosphere. That's what I'm seeing. You're going to experience the world so differently and what harvests in your realm because of the shift that's occurred within you. That's what I'm seeing. It's like the degrees have been turned up within you. And I'm hearing it's like this knowing of what else is possible that has been increasing. I'm seeing like a solar dial. Yeah, that's increasing. And it's like, again, encoded for a celestial conversation. And this conversation has already occurred within you. So it's almost like I know what I must do. But what I feel like you don't see coming is that there's going to be something completely new that harvests. It's like you thought that you planted an apple tree and it ends up being a mango. That's what I'm seeing for you. It's some kind of intention that you have to experience. It's not just a new season, it's what you end up harvesting in this season. Yeah, okay, that's very interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna take a look at what is the season. Magnetic field just flipped out in attraction. So there's something that you're pulling into your orbit for sure. Let's see. I'm hearing lucrative, the word lucrative. You have energy. Okay, and then pulsar, which talks about there's something happening in intervals. It talks about something happening like a roller coaster, and it's a very short and intense trip. So it's not just the ripening process, but it's like the harvestation process comes in quicker too. We'll go ahead and read energy. Energy is a really, really positive card, which is why I had that look on my face. It's energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it's transferred or recycled. So what I'm seeing is maybe you did plant an apple tree, but it ends up transforming into a mango. It's like an anomaly that happens, something that deviates from what seemed possible. It's like what appears to be impossible is about to, divide itself into the word I'm possible. So that's going to take a look at energy for you. It's very, very positive. It's a positive electrical charge. So everything which exists in energy, it is energy in different forms. Nothing can escape from it. It is neither created nor destroyed. It only transforms itself. This is so interesting. So I'm seeing the tree be another version of you, right? The seed is another version of you. And it's because the person that you were when you planted the seed versus how you've been nurturing yourself. And I'm hearing the version of yourself when you were seeded onto this planet and that gestation period that occurred. And it's like what used to be your ceiling is about to be your floor. It's like you're breaking through into a new atmosphere and environment within yourself in regards of what is possible. But I'm seeing this seed be like quantum entangled with you. So as you're stepping into a season of thriving, this thing begins to thrive. And I don't know what it is for you. It could be a project, it could be something that you're immersing yourself into. It could be like again, something beautiful, but it talks about it only transforms itself. But this thing is transforming as a result of you, right? It's like your life is transforming because you have transformed. Things don't change until things change, right? And when nature goes too long unchanged, it begins to destroy itself because you're going against the whole universal rhythm and flow, which is to change, to grow, and growth over time leads to evolution. And you're literally evolving into, just again, the tree evolves into a new kind of species of some kind. It's very interesting. So it is the capacity of matter to produce work by means of movement and light. It's also the capacity and strength to physically and mentally stimulate any type of thing or situation. This is an excellent card for the activation of something, such as a project or anything work related. It is a beautiful omen full of strength. If we are facing a conflict, we should review the energy that we put into it and transform it. You know what Spirit's showing me? Some of you could be musicians, it doesn't have to be, but I just feel like this is a new octave in which you're oscillating in. And the way I'm just seeing it is, I've talked about this before, I feel like, where maybe upon the launch of like a first album that an artist puts out, maybe it's like they're going through things in their personal life where they're going through breakups or grief or heartbreak and pain. And there's a very specific vibrational frequency and, intention behind the music and the things in which they create. And it calls in resonant experiences, right? And it's designed for that stage of evolution, the way that, they turned something painful into something beautiful, right? A tragedy into art. And, and even an artist that paints from that place, maybe they'll paint people crying, maybe they'll paint more, gloomy scenes. That's what I'm seeing, right? But then as this person begins to heal and integrate that experience, it's like, at the time there's this refraction mechanism where it's hard to absorb all of the emotional data that had occurred and the experiences until you're looking at it from a higher level of understanding. I'm seeing this from the lens of the soul. It's almost like you've looked at things from the past that have brought you here. And what I'm seeing has changed is the way that you're thinking about your life, right? You're ascending into higher frameworks of viewing this existence, ascended ways of feeling about your relationship to your journey on earth, right? Especially emotionally. And there's this intercommunication that's happened. And as you begin to move up the spectrum, you begin to absorb that emotional data, right? And it actually lifts you higher into a higher ascent because it's not something that is personal. You're, almost like arranging the way that you feel and think about things via vibrational frequency. It's like there's a higher frequency of thought, there's a higher frequency of emotion in your relation to this very specific plane of consciousness in which you were once operating on, and you just understand that there's resonant themes and characters based upon what it is that you were emitting, right? you during certain experiences, especially unconsciously, based off unconscious wounds that were actually supporting your evolution at the time, even though it was hard to see it clearly until, there's time that has passed between you and the event. That's what I'm seeing it as, right? And there's different, beings and experiences that are encoded into that, very specific ecosystem or field, that occupy those realms. And I'm just seeing you ascend into higher planes of consciousness as you begin to integrate those experiences. And you see how they've not taken from you. It's actually allowed you to become more whole within yourself, right? Because you've developed this connection with your soul. That's what I'm seeing it from the perspective of the soul. Anyway, and now I'm seeing, and then the artist begins to step into maybe a season of, feeling themselves a little bit, they're feeling more confident in their power. I'm seeing spirit showing me like moving up the chakra points, right? So it's almost like, you're stepping into your power, solar plexus, this is about your inner will, your drive, your confidence, your determination. And you're stepping into a season of really just thriving and trusting yourself as you navigate this next chapter. And this next album of music sounds more empowered. It sounds more like embracing life's changes, being ready to face this new season. And that translates into an artist's work as well. Maybe they begin to paint different kind of landscapes, different kind of I'm seeing like different kind of murals. That's what I'm showing. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like something that's entangled with you. And when you're in a season of thriving, it translates into the things that you do. Again, there's like this golden touch that you have. And with energy, there's something that you're doing that's transforming. And it's a short but intense trip, right? So that's what I'm seeing, and it becomes a point of reference for you as well. There's something around reality markers and that being a point of reference around, oh yeah, I made that. I don't know if you guys have written like poems, but I look at my poems growing up, and I can read it, and some of them are pretty dark. But it was like needed, it's the way that you wanted to express yourself at the time. It's like something that haunted the ways of my heart or lingered in the ways of my mind. But it's you find beauty in that, and it's like that becomes a point of reference for how far it is that you've come. And with short and intense, right, pulsar, this is intervals. There's something that you're going to be looking back at a linear fashion, and it's going to be a reminder of how far it is that you've come. So this is a shift that's taking place. I feel like you're ascending into a high octave with a new resonant experiences. So what were we saying? What was the reading about before the energy? Why do I pull the energy card? I think it was like what you're sending. Let me know. Anyway, we'll see. Now I'm holding this deck, so let's clarify what it is. Feeling this card deck wants to be pulled. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. You know what it is? This feels like a strategy of some kind. This is somebody taking a new road, right? They're going from point A to point B, and they're embracing a new path that they haven't walked before. It reminds you of, I heard someone say, you never really quite figure it out. It's my first time being, she was like, it's my first time raising, a 17-year-old. I've never done this before, right? First daughter. And the daughter's like, the mother's like, well, the daughter is like, well, it's my first time being 17. It kind of feels like that. It's my first time using yellow on a canvas before, and the canvas is speaking to you in an omnipresent kind of way. Well, it's my first time wearing yellow. It's that kind of energy that I see coming. It's like almost like we're trying on a new, I don't know, like a new life. You're trying on new, like a knowing system. I'm not even going to call it a belief system, right? Because that's limits. And knowing that you can wear all colors of the rainbow. It just feels like you're trying on something with energy, and it's leading to, again, like a transformation that is occurring. That's what I'm seeing with the Knight of Pentacles. And it's funny because these actually look like the chakra systems, right? Intricate geometry, this interconnected system. All right, let's get another energy. Let's take a look at what is the project? I feel like you're soaring into some type of cell, binary star, and optical doubles. The project is a paradox because you're a walking paradox, right? The paradox is being able to hold space for something that coexists. It's like within an artist, Multi-dimensional is multiple dimensions, it's multiple frequencies. And I'm seeing albums be organized via vibrational frequency, via different stages in your life. And it just feels like you're transitioning or evolving into a new way of painting, a new way of constructing music, a new way, but it's a reflection of you, with whatever this is. It feels like something creative. It could even be like a season in your life, the type of job that you've done, and maybe your career is changing, or maybe you're going to a new workplace. But it's reflecting the transition that has happened within you. And I'm hearing your readiness to now to move on, to move forward in some way. I'm hearing to grant yourself permission to align with something new. Maybe you've been experiencing stagnant, belief systems or reinforced thoughts. That's really what it is, right? And it creates stagnant, emotions, which is energy in motion that wants to do something and wants to go somewhere, wants to express itself, but maybe there's something that you've been holding back up until now. And they're showing me the solar flares energy. So something that has been previously withheld is going to be coming out all at once. And with cell, the center of the cell holds the DNA. Around the cell, you have something called the cell membrane. It's also known as the plasma membrane, right? And what is plasma? Plasma is your connection to source, and there's intercommunication again with your own soul. There's like something that has happened within you. Binary star is that this truth has always been transversing your path. I'm seeing it. I always use this reference, but the higher self of Vidal, right? The silent soul, the quiet observer within her knew that when she went through that heartbreak, there was so much beauty that would come out from the other side. That point of pain would become a portal for her. That point of destabilization, something that she felt like was the end of her world, because it was the end of an old world, right, within herself, would actually become the reason for her transformation. She would just have to surrender to it. And there's just something around it, the way that your soul's surrendering to this new cycle. It doesn't even feel like the soul is, it feels like the ego is. It feels like there's this complete congruency and alignment in the physical where you're allowing the soul to lead the flesh, and it's the flesh that is surrendering right now. And it's like you're being called forth to do certain things that feel completely guided. It's like the higher self begins to move through you. And you move as one with the higher self. You become the physical embodiment of it. That's what I see it. How I see it, and it's like, just wait. You don't know this yet, but just wait. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's beautiful. And then you have density, right? That came out first. Density is about the things that previously weighed you down. And again, this becomes a point of reference. Optical doubles is something that seems so far away, but the thing is, the outcome of this has always been transversing your path. So whoever I'm talking to, right, we all have the ability to alchemize and transmute, but you're stepping into the fact that you're a transmutation powerhouse. You are using any kind of energy as fuel to further accelerate along your path. That's what I'm seeing. It's like something was designed to kind of shake you up to use it as fuel. These are like base raw materials to turn something that seems like a leaden experience into a golden opportunity for yourself. The Empress, right? Something new, a new world inside of you that you're birthing. And she's also a stargate. She brings the non-physical into form. And she is also Venetian energy, right? She finds a beautiful way to do it. But here, this is a glow up that you're going through. Externally in your realm, but it's mirroring the internal glow up that's happened within you, right? Life is about oscillating from higher bandwidths of frequency light, like undifferentiated bandwidths of frequency light, right? The slowest oscillation to the highest oscillation. The way that you move towards the highest oscillation is to surrender. It's to detach to the stories that have played out, the characters that have played parts in those stories, and extract the wisdom from it. Pack lightly as you move forward. And that's what I'm seeing happen for you. Well, you've already mastered this, many of you that I'm speaking to, and you already know it. And that's how you know you've healed. It's when you look back at a situation and there is no longer that emotional response or reaction to it. You just look at it through the lens of wisdom. And that's how you know you've integrated. You don't look at it through the lens of the wounded self. You look at it through the lens of the one that is whole. The one that has become whole from the experience. In order to step into that self-love and love yourself, you must love everything that has shaped you up to date. And that's what I'm seeing. And it's like, because of that, you're loving yourself into some kind of change in this new season that's occurring. And the Empress also is birthing like the conception of an idea, right? An enterprise, some kind of new project. But it's something that no one else really sees yet. But she's calling this in towards her. She's drawing this thing towards her. That's what I'm seeing. And there's like a new wave. There's like a wave of a new beginning. There's a wave that's coming in, and it feels like the wave of a new life, you know, of some kind. Because there's new life being infused into you. So I'm going to take a look at, I don't know, where should you put your attention and focus right now? Stratosphere. Oh, okay. Stratosphere is quite interesting. It talks about, you know, different domains. I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. Stratosphere, there you go, stratosphere. And then you have microgravity here at the base, which is about something becoming weightless, something becoming effortless. And it's when you kind of surrender to it. But stratosphere basically talks about balance being key. So let me find it for you. Should be the next page. Okay. Perfect balance, certainty, and protection. Support, guidance, shelter, perseverance, and harmony. This is about the stratosphere fulfills the role of the protector for all forms of life on planet Earth. At its highest point, you can find the ozone layer, which is responsible for absorbing the sun's ultraviolet rays. Strata means layer. It is the space of perfect dynamic balance and constant temperature, where you will find no storms or turbulence. Enjoy the ease, peace, and protection that it brings you. Life as we know it would not be possible without it. And the portal is 333, and to be thankful. So there's like a perfect balance. Okay, there's a perfect balance between shadow and light. Study, learn, cultivate that knowledge, and understand why it's brought you here today, why you have brought yourself here today. You know, this is someone that's curious. Look at your life experiences through the lens of curiosity around, why did I choose this for myself, even unconsciously? What was the point of resonance at the time? Get curious and study it, you know, and then get curious around, well, if I'm conscious of this, what can I consciously streamline my way now? That's what I'm seeing. What can I consciously become a conduit for? What will I allow to flow through me this time? Because you see, things don't happen to you or even for you. It literally happens through you. So there's something new that's bleeding through you. It's sending out these frequencies that are then being received and absorbed by the quantum, and you draw in exactly what you are, exactly what it is that you're operating in, or as the magician at the base, a conduit. See, the magician has a thought. He then charges that thought with emotion, right? It's this strong biological charge. It creates a thought form in his field. And as he begins to take a line action towards that, it begins to collapse through space and time. So there is something that you're manifesting and you're drawing in from the formlessness and the formed. It reminds you of the In-Between Worlds card. And the In-Between Worlds card talks about you have 1 foot in an old world and 1 foot in the new. And you're being called to become a magician, but not one that performs magic tricks, the one that has mastered the realm of the formlessness and also the formed. So what does it mean? I'm just seeing, like, what does the soul want to experience through you? The soul is experiencing growth through you. And you are the soul experiencing growth through the vessel. And I'm just seeing when they align as one, there's a fusion that happens. when you merge the physical and the non-physical, it leads to the triad, right? Mastery over the physical realm, mastery over matter, because you first mastered your thoughts and also your emotional state of being. That's what I see. So, with that being said, I'm going to love any of you right there. And that's going to be it for today. Personal reading details are down below. Check out Autospirit if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. You have 2 discount codes for that. And also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you've made it to this point, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Also, if you've made it up until here, comment down below anything magician-y, anything that you feel like is symbolic of what it is that you're calling in. Yeah, and let me know what it is that you guys are creating. Are you an artist? Is it like a working project? Is it a creative project? What are you streamlining right now? Let me know.